Hi, I'm Rick Bullock with Bedford Positively, and all of us are down here today to tour and enjoy the 30th show that the Bedford Boomers Railroad Club has put on in this area. It's a phenomenal show. As I said, it's been going on for 30 years. The exhibits, this is actually the largest vendor show east of the Mississippi River, is my understanding. So again, you're going to be seeing a lot of things. We're going to be doing some interviews for you, and we're going to be talking to some people that really are unlike people you'll meet anywhere else. And if everything holds, we're going to take you for a little bit of a ride down memory lane with a steam locomotive. So we will be seeing you inside, and we look forward to being with you this afternoon.
Hi, I'm Jesse Ciechon here with Paul. Hey, can you tell us why you're here today?
We're here to run a layout for HO scale. We do it every year for the Boomers. This is the Boomers' last show, so we wouldn't miss it. We basically come in with what we call a modular railroad club. We also have a permanent layout at our clubhouse. We basically bring in 4-foot modules generally, and they have a certain spec that they can be hooked together, and everybody can make their own module. Not all these modules are from the club's modules. They are a lot of personal modules that, because you have a certain spec, you can hook them together at the shows like this. And we have a Pepperell siding module, which is the Pepperell Main Street of Pepperell, Mass. We have a farm module from out west. We have a big yard, and a lot of this is grouped together, and we just run it. We have electrical system and a Digitrax system that actually runs the trains, and we can run as many trains as we want as long as we have enough power to supply them. The Digitrax system can run hundreds of trains at a time. It's just that the only limitation we have is the electric and the amount of power the engines are pulling. So Normally, we can run probably 4 or 5 engines per main line, and that's only because the engines, you don't want them to run into each other. When it has an accident, all you hear is it's crashing, or you hear bang, so you don't want to hear those names. But like I said, we do come here with just a group of guys that get together, and we run a layout for the enjoyment of a lot of people. We do several shows a year, and this is one of them. And it's just fun to get together and meet other train enthusiasts, and we play around, and we also go run on other people's layouts, and they in turn come back and they try out our layout. We have a man here from Hub Division right now that just asked us to come and run on our layout for a change of pace.
That's very cool. How long did it take you to set up something like this?
It usually takes us about 4 hours this size. It's a 16 by 32 foot layout. It takes us about 4 or 5 hours to get it all together, and then it takes about another hour or two to tweak it to get it to run properly. We do have larger ones, like we go down into Springfield, Mass in January, and we run a 44 by 44 foot, and that takes probably 2 days to run set up.
Cool. So how many modules are you running right now?
We're running, I think it's, we have a lot of 4-footers and 8-footers, so I would say about 20 altogether.
Very cool. So where are you guys based out of?
We're based out of Pepperell, Massachusetts. We're called the Pepperell Siding Model Railroad Club, and it's psmrc.org. Little plug there. But yeah, it's a nice layout. We have originally we started out as a module layout, but then we purchased a local condo, and now we have on the second floor we have a permanent layout. So now we do permanent layout, and we also do a lot of shows during the year.
Excellent. So what's you guys' next show?
The next show is going to be the Hub Show in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and it's in the beginning of December.
All right, cool. Hey, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hi, I'm Zachary Barthelemy from Bedford Positively, and I'm here with Mark today. Mark.
Hi, my name is Mark Furricane. I'm the president of Northeast Track. We're a modular club that does shows all over New England, mainly Massachusetts and New Hampshire. The next show that we will be doing will be at the Greenberg Show in Wilmington, Massachusetts on the 17th and 18th of this November. And then we will be doing a show after that at the Amherst Model Railroad Show out at the Big E out in West Springfield, and that will be the end of January.
All right, Mark, can you tell us what exactly you guys do here?
We do modular end scale, which is everybody makes a module to a certain scale and certain track positions, and they can be clamped together to make large layouts. The largest layout that I've ever been a part of was down in Chantilly, Virginia in 2004, which was 177 by 244 feet. It was over 39,000 square feet of modules.
How long would it take to build something like that?
It took about 3 days to set it up, mainly because we were waiting for people to show up. But as far as NTRAC is a national organization. It's actually a worldwide organization, providing you set up the tracks to certain positions. Everything just clamps together.
Now, do you guys like hand make every single part of the terrain in the track, or?
No, we do all the scenery ourselves. None of the modules are ever the same, and you'll never see them set up in the same order. I mean, it's all random.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Adam Stroebel, and I am with...
Thomas Tucker.
Hey, Thomas. What are you doing here today?
I'm a member of Seashore Trolley Museum in Kennebunkport, Maine, and we're giving out brochures for people to come and ride with us. Also, we offer a motorman's program where you can actually drive one of the trolleys with an instructor, and we like to have people come visit us.
Nice. So what are the opening times for the museum?
From May through October, and it's 7 days a week during the summertime, and it's like 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. There's also a website.
Cool. Okay, so you said you could drive the trolleys. How much would that cost?
It's a $50 Be a Motorman program, and they send you out with an instructor on a car, and you run the car after you leave the center part.
Oh, that's cool. And does it cost anything to ride the trolleys, or is it just to drive it?
If you're a member, it doesn't cost you anything to ride. If you're coming for the day, there is a slight charge. To enter the trolley museum, there's over 200 cars on the premises. We run between 3 and 4 cars each day. There's 50 of them available. You can also go to the restoration shop and see cars being worked on and fixed.
Cool. And how would you become a member of the museum?
All you do is go online, fill out the application, and send in your dues. And then if you want to be an operator, then you go to a class that's 3 days long, and then you start earning your time operating and being a conductor.
That's cool. And earlier before you said it was one of the oldest museums in the world for trolleys?
It's the oldest museum in the world, and we have a very large, over 200 car collection on the property. And you can go and look at about 3/4 of those.
That's cool. What would be the oldest trolley you have?
1890, 98, 97. There's a 1901 car that's still in service today.
Got some pretty old trolleys. Well, thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
I'm Mitchell Tack. I'm here for Bedford Positively, and this is Michael from Railroad Supplies. He's actually got some steam engine trains here. They're little models, but they're bigger than you'd think. We can actually ride on them. They're pretty cool. You mind telling us about those?
Yeah, these are actual steam locomotives, just 1/8 actual size. The steam locomotive burns coal. We build up 120 pounds of steam pressure and enjoy the whole day.
So how did you get started with steam engine trains?
At one time I used to play with tabletop trains, and then I got introduced to this live steam stuff, and I said that's the way to go. And once you go for a ride and get a hot cinder, there's nothing like it.
So on average, how much does this cost to keep going?
That depends. I mean, some people can build one for as little as $300, and then some people build them for $150,000.
That's a lot of money. But this looks like it's a fun activity to do in the end. So is it possible that we could get a ride going on later?
Sure. Yeah, we guys can operate the Alaskan if you want. We'll show you how to run it, and it's pretty simple.
That's cool. Thank you for talking to me.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't need it catching me saying something stupid.
Much ran out of say, so we're going to have to do it with the camera.
I don't do TV.
Oh, you did great.
Mike, just make this my last will and testament as you're filming it, please.
Press the bell, turn it on, turn it off. direction. You only have to worry about direction. And that's forward. All right? Just go slow. Slow is better.
Well, without a question, this is one interesting way of spending an afternoon here at the Bedford Boomers 30th anniversary, our 30th Railroad Show. As you can see, we've got all of Bedford Positively, the staff that's here today, riding around in the parking lot on an actual steam engine. This is a remarkable situation and something that we can look forward to, and everybody here will remember for a lot of years to come. A remarkable way of spending an afternoon. The weather's with us. The turnout has been absolutely phenomenal. And again, I'm just thinking that this is a remarkable thing for our community. Again, 30 years in a row that this has been held, and you couldn't ask for anything better. So as we are pulling into the station, we're more than halfway around our trip right now. And I think this has just been a wonderful experience for all of us. So as we are now doing the final curve, the final bend, I guess, in the railroad tracks, we are, in fact, just pulling into the straightaway. So again, a wonderful experience, something that I've never had before in my life, and I'm sure that none of the rest of Bedford Positively has. So again, it is a wonderful option and a wonderful opportunity. And we'll be seeing you back inside momentarily. So we will see you shortly.
Okay, Mike, now that I've driven a little bit, it's a very fun activity. I will agree with you on that. But what made you decide to actually name it the Alaska?
A friend of mine that owns the locomotive actually went to Alaska and rode that locomotive, and he came back with a plastic model and said, build me one.
Interesting story. Also, quick question. What's up with the electrical lines around the outside of it?
We use anything from sawhorses to posts with just rope on it, but we decided to make up some telephone poles and make it more realistic looking. A little scenery.
So what reason did you start wanting to give rides to the younger children and other folks around Bedford?
Just to show them what we do. It's a lot of fun, introduce them to them. Later on, as they get older and stuff, they'll get involved with it and go down to the club and ride. It's a fun family thing to do.
I agree. Definitely after driving for the first time, I would agree that it's kind of like being a kid in the candy store. It was a very fun experience. Thank you for helping out.
Alrighty, it beats watching the ones go around on the tabletop when you can actually go with it.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, like, my house should be
Right now, I'm here with Bill Trueheart, who has been one of the mainstays of this whole production for 30 years. I can remember when you started it, because my dad was involved with that.
Yes, he was.
Way back when.
Yes.
Bill, you know, this has just been phenomenal. We just came in from taking a ride on a steam engine around the parking lot, which was an experience, because I know that I had never been on a steam engine before, and I don't think any of the Bedford Positively staff had. Give us a little bit of an overview as to I mean, this has grown to great proportions. We've got classrooms with workshops in them, and just exhibits in every which way direction. So give us an idea how you got this idea to get started with this, and how it's just grown to where it is now.
Well, the whole thing started in actually 1981. When I retired from the Army, I had a hobby store. And one of my dreams was to be able to have a portable layout that we can move around. And a bunch of other model railroaders joined me. And we started to build modules, and our first show was in the cafeteria. We had about 15, 20 guys putting on a show, and about 600 people showed up. And it's actually grown from there to what you see today. Right now there's over 450 participants, and we've had close to 22 to 2,300 people come through so far.
And I remember that well because, as I said, my dad was one of the first ones that was with you, and I remember the modulars. That was quite the experience way back in those days. But I think that one of the things is, what we've noticed is the grouping of people together with all of the enthusiasm of the railroaders.
That's because model railroading, quote unquote, model railroading is fun. And it's not only the trains and the building of cars and buildings and et cetera, but the people that you meet, the social side of it. There's a lot of socialization that goes on. It makes it a very good hobby and good for people, men and women.
And there's no question about that, because what we're seeing is a great age spread here. We're seeing people who are, my dad's age or up to 90, and then we're seeing down to teenagers and little kids that are really getting into this.
We've got a fifth or sixth grader running a train with a conductor's hat sitting over there, and he's running around handling trains, and I've got my grandson, he's out there running the steam engine somewhere on that line. So yeah, it runs the full gamut of ages.
And that's one of the nice things, because it brings a sense of community together, because it isn't just directed toward a segment of our community. And in fact, you've got to admit, this show goes far beyond just the realm of Bedford.
Well, we've got people in as far away as Colorado, Texas. We've got them in from Kansas and Missouri, all over the New England states. Every New England state is represented, to include New York and New Jersey.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
You have to look to see if the train coming.
Okay.
He's trying to get through, right? Hold on, you're on hold.
We're on hold.
You're straight through, go ahead.
But in the meantime, while we're waiting for Bill, Bill's back.
I just had to let the train go through, that's all.
A little bit of technical difficulty, but I guess that's, I can remember as a kid in the basement of the house I grew up in, my dad had a railroad set up. And I can remember as a really little kid just thinking that was the greatest thing to come down the pike. Bill, I've got to ask you, we've been hearing that this, in fact, is the last year of this show. I want to say it ain't so, but on the same token, is that in fact the story?
In fact, this is the 30th and the last show we're going to have, yes. Now, as a group, we will still be around because we will attend other group shows, but nowhere near this size. We won't have to worry about the administration and all the things that go with putting a show on. We'll just bring some trains, a few modules, and run them. But this is our last major production, so to speak.
Well, Bill, I think on behalf of the community of Bedford and far beyond that, we've got to thank you and the Boomers for everything you've been doing for Bedford for the last 30 years. And
my fault.
And I think that for practical purposes, you guys are going out on a high point, because just what we've seen here today since we've been filming has been an absolutely phenomenal situation. So on behalf of many of the citizens of Bedford, I thank you.
Thank you very much. We've enjoyed it. And we're going to miss doing this, because we see a lot of people that sometimes we only see once a year to come in from all over. We're going to miss it too, but we just have to stop.
Well, rest assured, there are many of us that will miss it, and we'll look forward to seeing you perhaps in a different venue.
Thank you.
But from Bedford Positively, I'm Rick Bullock. Well, this has been a phenomenal opportunity, and as you've seen, you couldn't ask for better weather or a better show or put on by a better group of people. Adam, what did you find the most interesting today?
I found the detail in the setups pretty amazing. Like, they had people in the trains, they had foliage, they had water that looked decently real. It was just amazing all around what they did in the time they had.
And I was in here yesterday as most of these people having the displays were gentlemen. I understand they only had one female member of their club through its years. It was mostly a male-dominated hobby, but they all seem to enjoy it. They all there's a brotherhood there, a camaraderie, and yes, there is a lot of detail in the exhibits. Hopefully, you'll get to see some of it on our video footage. They put a lot of work into it, a lot of time, and I will say these guys, not meaning to offend any women that might be in there, but they've been doing this for a long time. This is their hobbies they've had since kids and have continued through retirement, and I really think they're enjoying sticking with it. And who we got over here? Zach?
Zach, you're next.
Gotta say, the detail was just amazing on all of them. It's like every time I came back to see the stuff, it was always something new. I always find.
Mitch?
I have to say, my favorite part was riding on the steam locomotive, and Rick over here screaming, "Oh God, don't kill us." It was like being a kid in the candy store. First time doing that, and hopefully not the last. It was a great time, I have to say. Jesse, what about you?
I found the most interesting part was how into it the people that were running these exhibits were, how interested and how much they had to tell about their exhibits and how much time and effort they put into it.
You know, and unfortunately, one of the things Mitch said about doing it again, it's with this great degree of sadness that we found that this is in fact going to be the last show like this that the Bedford Boomers will be having here in town. They've been a mainstay in our community for 30 years, as I said in our entrance. It's a shame to see this shut down, but I do understand the reasons why. So, you know, hopefully those of you that have not been able to participate or be here either today or at any point over the last 30 years will watch this film and really enjoy it, because unfortunately many of the things we report on, it's something from our community that we will no longer have. So anyway, on behalf of all of us from Bedford Positively, we thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you at our next show.